I'll be reading Out of the Darkness, the story of blacks moving north from 1890 to 1940 by James Haskins and Kathleen Benson. And this book talks about the black people of the United States. Do you know what the North and the South fought about?
Was it the Civil War?
It was called the Civil War
Slavery.
and slavery. The North did not want what? Slaves. And the South wanted slavery because the North used machines to do the factory type work. The South used black people to grow cotton, tobacco, and what do you
Hold
make
on.
out of tobacco?
Did you know? I learned a fact.
Mm-hmm.
They're out on from iFunny, I think.
Mhm.
Sometimes they have facts. What it said, when you get the reason you like chocolate is because it has a little bit of tobacco.
I didn't know.
Or not tobacco, like something that makes you like hyper and that's sweet.
An upper and a downer. In the drugs, in the
That's an
1960s,
upper.
the drugs were famous for uppers and downers. Great journeys. James Haskins is a professor of English at the University of Florida in Gainesville. This is very close to where we are. He lives in both Gainesville and New York City. Mr. Haskins has written more than 100 books for adults and young people devoted to the exploration of African American culture.
Perdona,
Mhm.
había una estufita chiquita puesta ahí, arriba, eléctrica, ¿dónde está?
Arriba eléctrica, ¿dónde?
Ahí por donde está la lavadora, en la parte de arriba, una cajita.
No le he tocado. No he llegado ahí. Books about culture, history, and biography. Among the many awards he has received for his
¿Y dónde
works,
sacaste esta, pues?
no recuerdo, del garaje de seguro.
No estaba en el garaje.
Entonces del laundry room. ¿La usas?
Sí.
Among the many awards he has received for his works are the Washington Post Children's Book Guild and Carter G. Woodson Award and the Coretta Scott King Award. The Cotton Club was the inspiration for the motion picture of the same title, Cotton Club. Information on the performer, Bricktop, that appears in Out of the Darkness, this book, comes from a biography he wrote with Bricktop, which was selected as a book across the sea by the English-speaking Union. I don't know what that is, English-speaking
Wait, maybe
Union.
there's a non-English speaking, like some of the union were Spanish.
A Spanish Union and English-speaking Union. Kathleen Benson is the other author. She has collaborated with her husband, James Haskins, on several noted series of books. Kathleen Benson is chair of community and family programming at the Museum of the City of New York. She started New York City History Day, New York City History Day, and in January 1999 was named a Centennial Historian by New York City 100. A Centennial Historian is a person that's 100 years? Who knows? They might be older people. So it's a husband and wife team. They work very nicely together and they write books. Moving north after the Civil War, I'm speaking, 1890 to 1940. How do I know it's after the Civil War?
Because the date.
That's right, son. So I just wanted to go over the pictures with you.
Okay.
Why would the black people move north from the south?
Because the slaves are at the south, and to run away at the north is dangerous, so they can be shot or whipped, or worse. But if they do make it to the north, they'll be free.
That was before the Civil War.
Oh, right.
After the Civil War, they could easily just walk up north. But,
They still liked it?
and many of them did. That's why they started saying it's called a migration. Just like the Jews, Moses led the Jews out of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at this boy. And this girl, do they have shoes on? You're drinking water instead of soda? Oh well. No, he doesn't have shoes on, son. He's walking barefoot.
Apparently there's no more.
Oh, that's probably his mother that's standing next to him. I thought it was a girl. But the way she's dressed. Out of the darkness.
This I know for a fact is not water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the kitty's eating food.
So they went north for the opportunity to find a work in a factory, perhaps.
Pay.
Mm-hmm. So these cities in the north, Chicago, I don't know about the others. Detroit, definitely. I heard about Detroit. Chicago became a black city, and so did Baltimore. Baltimore,
What about
Maryland.
the Beverly City?
Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. A police officer told me that it's the opposite of the city of brotherly love. All right, so you see how they carry everything? The boy, the young man, how old do you think he is? This photo.
Maybe 12. He looks like Leo from my show. Leo's 12.
And the girl, do you think she's his mother? By the way, she's
small.
holding a purse. She's dressed like a
Yeah, but
woman.
she's small.
Do they smile? Why not?
Well, the woman is like, sort of, kind of, not really.
They're very serious looking people, right?
Mhm.
That's because they had a very serious life. A tough life. Now, my mama from her baby. Okay, so this lady is called Bricktop, and she sent this photograph to her mother. When they were white, when the black people looked white, some of them passed off as white people. Why would they want to do that?
So that they don't get enslaved.
That's one, but after slavery, they would do that so that they have better treatment.
Oh, gushy, gushy, gushy.
Now, you see the hat that the black gentleman is wearing?
Huh?
Your great-grandfather used to wear a hat just like it. In fact,
Which one?
this
Oh,
gentleman.
yeah.
But they would dress identical because the whole society was like that, with a suit, a tie, a hat.
The slaves wore ties?
Well, this is after slavery, and
Oh,
to show
okay.
success, you would
Is the
dress
rest-
better.
The rest of the book after slavery?
All of this book is after slavery,
Oh, okay.
but look how they lived. You see, these are men. What do you see in the photo?
What's that?
Yeah, I don't know if that was the sky or what, but there's something wrong with this building.
Blew up?
Maybe there was a fire, but it's too. Why would it fall halfway? Is it a building or is it a fence that we're looking at?
Maybe a fence.
It's a weird fence. Looks like a building. Roots of the Great Migration.
Migration.
Why do they call it the Great Migration?
Because the people went to the north.
Because so many of them did it. Here is a crew of blacks supervised by a white man work on railroad tracks near Spencer, North Carolina around 1890.
Who's the white?
The one in the center.
Oh.
He was probably the overseer or the boss man.
Yeah.
He's maybe not the owner of the plantation, or this case is a railroad. Now these men, they were very strong. Why?
Because they worked in the railroad. You had to hit a hammer all day.
They were very strong, son.
And big nails.
Yeah. Black or white, whoever worked on that thing,
And if
Chinese.
you mess up, you have to start all over.
Now look at the group of children. Did they have a park to go play at? You
Nope.
think?
Nope.
No. You see all of them? Are you looking at their photo?
Yeah.
You see the barefoot?
Yeah.
All right. In Honduras, it's like that. When I was little, my 9-year-old friend died because he stepped on a nail. And he told me about it, but he didn't tell an adult about it.
And you didn't tell an adult?
And I didn't tell anybody. The next day, he was dead. The nail was on his foot when he showed it to me.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. You see how tough these kids were? They're in pain and you don't tell anybody? No, because you know why he didn't want to tell anybody?
What?
Probably he was going to get yelled at or hit. So he took the pain, kept quiet, and then
Yeah.
that's what I suspect.
No, la mesa.
So that's why it's important for you to become a shoemaker and a tailor. A tailor is a person that uses a sewing machine.